All right, so this is part 2 of my drive from LA to Las Vegas, and here to answer all the questions that you have sent my way. And I really appreciate these questions because it keeps me going on this drive, this boring drive through the desert. All right, let's get started. Grayson from Cherry Collectible out in Australia, sup Grayson, asks, when do you arrive? I'm arriving now. Just kidding. I'll be there in the afternoon, or I guess now that this video is already published, I was there Friday afternoon and have about 48 hours there. Next question is from HQ Cards 910. What will be the hottest 2021 F1 card? Ugh. Hottest? I'm going to interpret hottest as the most desired, the most valuable in terms of USD or, monetary value. I mean, call me simple and basic, but I think it's going to be the Lewis Hamilton Superfractor Auto. I mean, you could say that Mick Superfractor is cool and Alonso Superfractor Auto is cool. I agree. Those are really cool cards. And if I pull them, I don't know if I could, my heart will probably not beat for a few seconds, or I probably won't breathe for a few seconds. But don't get me wrong, those are really cool cards. I mean, even like a red auto of Hamilton, I would probably have a mini, panic attack. But I do think the best card still in this set is the second year, Superfractor Auto of Hamilton. And here's a bold take. I have said this on a live before, I think. By the way, I just started One Nut. It's really cool. I did it for 2 times. Really cool community. All of you guys are hilarious. I'm just like laughing my butt off. On the second stream too, I had to pee so bad, but I felt bad just leaving everyone in the chat room just like hanging. So I held my pee for an hour, and I was like, guys, I don't know if it was the room temperature. It definitely was not the room temperature. It was fine. It was AC controlled. I was getting hot. I really had to go run and pee. And they were so nice. They were like, set the auction limit to 2 minutes and go. And so I did. Anyways, sidetracked. Here's my hot take on the 2021 Topps Chrome Superfractor Lewis Hamilton Auto is, I think it might come out of a blaster. Although, I don't know if they're making Topps Chrome blaster, but if they are, I think it's going to come out of a blaster. You know why? It's like the most perfect story, right? For Topps to retweet RT over and over and over again that this 13-year-old child from, I don't know, Italy or somewhere not in the US. It cannot be US because then the scale doesn't seem as big. Somewhere out in Europe. I think that has to be in Europe or even Canada. I mean, the first year 2020 Superfractor Auto Hamilton came out of Canada, if you guys don't know, out of a single pack purchase by a kid as well, by a young collector. But the story of this 2021 Superfractor Auto of Lewis Hamilton coming out of a blaster or Omega, whatever it is, by a child would be the most incredible story that will live on, right? And yeah, I think that's my bold take. So we'll see what happens. And if you know somebody who already pulled it, let me know because we'd love to just see it. Next question is from Chris Hoge. What's up, Chris? From Card Ladder. He asks, which emerging card market most intrigues you? F1, Marvel, UFC, etc. And I'm biased. So Formula One, a lot of folks are getting into it through the platform of Netflix, where they did documentary style series on Formula One. And as they're going to do around tennis and a bunch of cricket, I think as well, they're going to do these type of documentaries. And by the way, if you guys don't know, Netflix actually doesn't make these documentaries. They partner with other production companies, like it's not called an original series. When it's called an original series, that's when Netflix actually rolls up their sleeves and like, you know, hires people in left and right to like produce something. I mean, even originals, they sometimes just buy out the entire right to the asset. But what I'm trying to tell you is just because it's aired on this linear stream platform of Netflix doesn't mean that Netflix actually went and made it. For example, there are plenty of shows on Netflix that someone made and they just take it to Netflix and sell it for a huge lump sum, obviously. And I think it's been sort of revolutionary for filmmakers and, you know, TV show makers in that way. Oops, getting a phone call. All right, I'm back. That was a long phone call. So I digress, but I think, Chris, my most intriguing, emerging sport right now in terms of cards is definitely F1. UFC a little bit. Family members are huge into UFC. I just personally cannot do like blood, like strong, like I can't. It's just too visual for me. Like I can't even watch some movies like PG-13 movies because it's just too much action, too much, you know, fighting and stuff like that. UFC is just that. So right now, F1, a lot of, you know, collectors are trying to educate me on things like cricket, rugby, some of the really, you know, like early stage markets. So trying to learn and understand that a little bit, because I personally have not watched, for example, a cricket game, or got excited about a cricket game, or things like that. So trying to learn, but it's just so different from F1 for me, because by design, like we've been watching F1, like we've followed all types of different like racing. For example, there's the Indy race, and then, you know, we even follow some of the F2 races as well, some of the dirt racing. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So it's a little bit more unique for me and more special for me. So that's what I'll be focusing on. Next question is from D Crony 43. Question is, oh, there's a traffic in the middle of this desert. Oh shoot. This is why driving from LA to Vegas is not fun. It's 2-lane highway, if you want to call this a highway, and if there's traffic, there's traffic. You can't really get out of it. Anyways, DC Roni 43 asks, do you have any F1 Dynasty pre-ordered? I don't. But I will be getting at least one. Promise you that. Because I missed out on the 2020 Dynasty, so there's definitely a FOMO in me. But the chances of me pulling anything decent is pretty dang low. In general, I'm not like super like lucky person. Like I feel like there's some of you out there, shout out to Chase Cards. I know I never admitted to you, but I think you have one of the luckiest luck in the world. What you do to get that luck, keep doing it because it's working. This guy like pulled insane cards so far. Just insane, absolutely insane cards. Anyways, since I don't carry that kind of luck, I usually, when I open boxes, it's purely for either fun or for content, to be honest, versus like hoping for something good. Never happens. So the motto I live by is set low expectation and you will not get disappointed. At least in card unboxing. Alright, so next question is from Vegas Golden Sports. Do you live in LA? I do. Been here for almost 2 years now. I lived in LA before, in the early 2010s. Moved up to the Bay Area for 5 years and made a return back recently, 2 years ago. It's traffic, guys. I mean, it doesn't look like I'm in traffic, but I'm going like 60 miles an hour. I'm supposed to be going like 80 right now. I'm gonna have to pee again. Okay, next question is from F1 Cars Then Cards. What's up? He has amazing photography of his cards, by the way, if you want to go check it out. If you needed to give up your whole collection except one, what would that one be? Ooh, that's a tough one. Why do I need to give up my collection? I don't know. But apparently I do. Except one card? Oh dear. Probably the 1984 Panini Sports Senna PSA 7. For many different reasons. There's a great story behind it. I didn't just go like bin it on eBay, which the process is just so simple and mundane if you put it that way. But I actually got those cards from a random auction site out of Europe. Got it stuck in custom for like a month. They were like, why does Panini stickers cost $12,000? I was like, I don't know. That's what they're charging me. I asked the same question. Finally got those back in my hands, graded it myself, and is to date now, as of March 25th, 2022, is the highest graded Senna 84 Panini. Now there are panels that are graded higher. Panels meaning these stickers, were sort of in this form where you can detach from another sticker. Are these called stickers? No, these are not stickers. These are actually cards, acetate cards. Sorry, my bad, I'm getting confused. These are acetate cards, but they're designed so you like kind of tear one apart from the other. And so there are panels that are not detached, that were not torn off, that are of higher grade, like PSA 8, I think. But for a single Senna sort of acetate card, this is the highest grade so far, and it is his rookie card, 1984. And so, yeah, I think that would have to be it. I mean, this is a tough question. I wish you said like 5 cards, not 1, but that's my answer. Because there's just so much potential for this card. Like, I bet there's like 100 people who know about this card. Maybe 100 is too low. Maybe like 200 people. Other people, I could offer it to them for $100. They probably wouldn't take it. They don't know the card, right? So much upside, potential, etc. for this card. Next question is from Jay Wonder. How were you so successful in creating your platform and voice? That's an amazing question. Platform and voice. As you guys know, like, I'm not a content creator by design. I never produce something for other people. I don't work in this field. It was something completely new for me about 2 years ago. The reason why I started a channel around sports cards while showing my face was because I myself felt like I was being, faced with prejudices, right? Is that the right word? Prejudice, when I was interacting with other collectors to buy or sell. It doesn't happen as much anymore. I don't know if it's because we have so many amazing women in the hobby, but literally, like, it'll be so common for me to get, hey bro, what's up, dude? Even though, like, ideas, she collects cards. I don't know. So that was a big kind of like, I wasn't offended by that or anything. I mean, like, look, like, reality is, even till this day, majority of the hobby is predominantly male, predominantly Caucasian, at least here in the US. And, like, I can't expect someone to, like, understand me, like, completely, or, like, understand the other side, like, if you don't show them the other side, right? If, like, all you know was that in life there's black and white, and those are the only 2 colors, if someone doesn't show you, or if you don't go out looking for that kind of piece of information, that there could potentially be something outside of black and white, you will never know that. And so you cannot blame someone for not knowing the different colors that are existing. Oh, that car is pushing me hard right now. Whoa, Camry, calm down. Anyways, so all that to say, I just kind of went out on a whim, encouraged by my friend Brian, to just get on YouTube, right? I could have probably picked other platforms like Twitch or whatever, but YouTube seemed like the most, and truth be told, the most easy. Like, I didn't have to like do crazy like whatever. I just posted. Now Siri wants to talk to me. My gosh, what's going on? So yeah, it seemed like the easiest platform to hop on and immediately start releasing videos. And I have no background in video like editing. I've actually grown up like really loving these like Korean variety shows. Most of you guys won't get it, but they have like an insane like sort of like IQ for editing. The timing, the word choices, the images, the graphics. I mean, the transitional. Like, I grew up like watching that and like reading between the lines of those commentaries to like truly understand, because a lot of these variety shows are in my opinion satires. Like, it's a jab at, you know, the most recent like policy that got passed, or it's a jab at some political campaign, or it's a satire. And so that really like got me into, oh wow, this editor or this producer did this as a transition from this scene to this scene. I was curious about that, but I never really did it like hands-on. Anyways, so it was all very brand new to me. My first edits were definitely done in iMovie. iMovie is actually more than sufficient for like 90% of videos, especially videos like mine where I just sit down and talk versus like I'm all over the world, which I would love to go to every show possible, obviously, but restrictions and priorities, right, in life, and responsibilities too. Anyways, so just began like that, and I don't think the channel really like got any momentum in the beginning, but you know, unlike everything else in my life at that point, which is heavily driven by like KPIs. What is your target? What is your goal? Like, I mean, my whole career conversations were around, where do you want to be in the next 3, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years? And that drove me nuts. I'm like, how do I even control this, right? And so because I was so used to that kind of forward-looking, goal-oriented like environment 24/7, I did not want to do that with something that I'm like voluntarily getting myself into. It's like, if this channel grows to 50 people, fine. Maybe I'll stop in like a year or two if it doesn't grow anymore. There was no expectation. Again, the theme here is low expectation. But I just wanted to see where it goes, and I did it. And I am so grateful for what this She Collects Cards channel has come to. Of course, like, I'm not saying that I've reached the top, not at all. I feel like I'm still learning, I'm still beginning this journey, to be honest. I mean, the channel has only been around for a year and a half maybe at most. Yeah, like less than a year and a half, I mean, somewhere in between. But I feel like we, you know, as a community have been able to come this far, not because of me, I don't think, but it's the immense support for a woman in the hobby. I really believe that, and a lot of the supporters are actually not women; they're men, and they appreciate and are advocates for my channel, for me, for my voice, along with many other women collectors, and that's so encouraging to see. I mean, talk about having a positive outlook on humanity, especially in the days that we live in. But in these small encounters that I have, where, you know, folks kind of bring up the point like, you're doing an amazing job, not with an asterisk of like, you're a woman but you still do a decent job, but like, you're doing an amazing job, and you're like encouraging other women collectors and other younger female collectors to, you know, come out of their closet and, you know, be as active as they want to be. That's enormously encouraging. And I still don't have like a target of like, I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. I mean, I guess it would be nice, but, you know, it's not a goal. Whether I get there in a year or 10 years, or if I never get there, it does not impact sort of my, ideas that I want to, share with you guys on this channel, tomorrow or next week. It doesn't really change that. And one thing, as we were talking about, so the platform and the voice that I've been fortunate to have, the small voice that I have, one thing that I do want to kind of double down on this channel, officially and unofficially, is that I want to continue to maintain an independent perspective and an independent voice around the hobby. And this is something that I've been talking to, our content strategist about, is like, I don't want to be in a position where I'm always dissing someone or dissing a movement or dissing a company. Like, I don't think that's the purpose of this platform. And if you are here to get like popcorn drama stuff, you're probably at the wrong place, right? And for those of you guys who have stuck around, like, that's not where you're gonna get this. And a lot of the criticism that I get in person, is you're too PC, right? PC stands for politically correct, and that's who I am, right? And when I do have a strong opinion, I will state it as my own opinion without sufficient evidence and sufficient, factual evidence. I'm not going to go out on my whim, out of emotions, and say so-and-so is this, or this is bad for the hobby, this is good for the hobby. I think that's a little too rushed. So, doing that study before each video release, like, we do a ton of, studying, research, like investigation before we release videos, just so that our video is as neutral and independent, and also, it's factually correct, right, to the best extent possible. And I make sure to point out that these are my own personal take, right? If those are the cases. So that's something that I do want to double down on the rest of the year and the rest of the channel, over the years, is that we don't want to like side with one camp and then, be enemies with the other, or be so strongly opinionated about one issue that it really blinds us. Because, in life and in general, I truly believe that I don't know much. I have so much to learn. And as I, get into the hobby more deeply, as I, gain more experience in life, the more I realize I legitimately don't know squat. And I'm learning. And I'm so thankful for you to join me in this journey. Again, some people might say, I know that I'm going to get a text after this video is released, like, that was too PC, but that's genuinely how I feel. Whether you're, on the ride or not, that's totally your decision. But that's what I want to do with the platform more, is to give independent reviews and analysis that we believe in, and we factually feel strongly confident that it is such a way, versus jumping to conclusions or making videos out of emotions, if that makes sense. So yeah, overall, I don't know what the sauces and the ingredients were that made the channel to where it has become today. There are tons of amazing content producers and YouTube channels and Twitch channels, etc., out there around the hobby. So continue to support them. Like, the amount of work that really goes behind each episode, each release, is insane. It's an insane amount, whether that's time, skills, or even money for a lot of people, I'm sure. So really, encourage them, encourage us. If you see us at shows or conventions, come say hi. Just no hard feelings at all, at least for me. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this series of me driving from LA to Vegas, I'm about an hour away now. Getting hungry, and I feel like I need to stop for a restroom, but I don't think I will. I want to one-shot it. I'm always one-shotting stuff. Even when I'm hiking, like, I'm tired, my legs are like cramping. Like, no, if I stop now, I can't finish it, so I just one-shot it. Even when I'm running, like, I remember I used to run half marathons until I got lazy. I would never take a break and walk, because I know that if I start taking a break, I would just kind of walk the rest of the marathon. So even if I'm running at like 5 miles per hour, I would still like jog to keep up, and then eventually make it back up to my pace. But anyways, digressed again. I feel like I keep digressing. Maybe it's because I'm driving. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. This was the episode to Vegas. I'm sure I'll do one from Vegas back to LA in 48 hours. Make sure to hit me up with any questions or comments. A ton of recordings and plan at the Mint Collective, a ton of collaborations, mostly on other folks' platform. So I'm very, very honored and excited to have just great conversations and pick each other's brains on around the hobby, around this industry, and in life. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. That was awesome.